You stand here before 1200. Look around, nothing but swamp, wet valleys, fog, and mosquitoes the size of airplanes. The river Spree cuts through mud and misery. No walls, no buildings, just potential. Then, around 1200, you see the first huts appear. Two tiny settlements, Köln on the island, Berlin on the north bank. Wood, straw, smoke, architecture of optimism and termites. By the 1220s, a wooden bridge, Mühlendamm, connects them. You cross it, and congratulations, you are now part of history's least impressive twin city. Nikolaikirche begins to rise nearby, stones, prayers, and scaffolding that keeps falling over. A few decades later, you walk through narrow alleys surrounded by wooden walls. By the 1260s, brick takes over. Civilization at last. Gothic churches climb skyward, and suddenly Berlin starts to look like a real town. You blink and it's 1300. Now the twin towns share a city hall built right on the bridge. Unity, bureaucracy, and very little hygiene. Then comes the year 1350. Yes, the Black Death. You, my friend, are suddenly surrounded by panic, rats, and theology. Half your neighbors vanish, the other half start praying louder. No doctors, no clue, just garlic, incense, and divine confusion. You try to stay alive, but the economy collapses faster than your immune system. But in 1380, fire sweeps through everything you just admired. Half the city burns, people scream, and you stand there thinking, wow, that escalated quickly. A few decades later, the smell of smoke fades. By 1400, the city rises again, stronger, redder, bricker. You open your eyes. Look! The city now bows before the mighty Hohenzollern family. You, a humble Berliner, suddenly have a duke to obey. The walls are patched, the streets stink slightly less, and taxes multiply like rabbits. The smell of power fills the air, along with the usual horse manure. Then, in the 1460s, and here it comes, the big one. Right in front of you, on the island in the Spree, they start stacking bricks for a new royal palace, the Stadtschloss. You squint. It's Gothic, tall, cold, and expensive. Everyone says it's for the glory of the Duke, but you know, it's for his ego. You blink again, and the church explodes. Not literally, but almost. It's 1330. The Reformation storms through the city. Monks are packing, priests are arguing, and everyone suddenly has opinions about God. You watch the monasteries crumble, their bricks stolen for someone's modern house. Religion? Politics? Who cares? It's chaos, and business is good. By now, you're a respectable citizen, sort of. The city hums with trade, markets overflow, beer flows even faster. You see brick warehouses, merchant houses with fancy gables, and rich people pretending they're nobles. Berlin smells like money and ambition, mostly money, but the air still suspiciously medieval. Now, it's the early 1600s. You walk through a sleepy town of narrow streets, and suddenly, 30 years of war. Famine, chaos, decay, buildings rot, people flee, pigeons rule. Now look at you. You thought Berlin was finally doing fine, yeah? But nine. It's 1618. Welcome to the 30 Years' War. You hear drums, screams, prayers, and silence. Armies march through, eat your crops, burn your house, and call it strategy. Plague returns for an encore performance. Half the city flees, the other half are too tired to care. You, poor Berliner, are left staring at broken walls, empty streets, and one last surviving goat. At least she doesn't charge taxis. By 1440, you stand in ruins, but Berliner start rebuilding again because what else can they do? By 1660, Prussian engineers arrive and shout at everyone. Then, miracle! By 1660, you crawl out of the ashes, brush off the plague dust, and there it is. The Duke says, "We need walls, bigger ones." And suddenly, bam! A Vauban-style fortress, shaped like a star, surrounds your ruined town. You feel safe until you realize it costs more than everything you own. Streets are cleaner, soldiers look proud, and for once, nobody's on fire. Berlin looks like it might actually survive this century. You move westward, 1680s. A brand new suburb appears, Dorotheenstadt. Unter den Linden sprouts as a grand avenue, and baroque architecture floods the scene. By 1700, Zeughaus rises, Berlin's first masterpiece of "Look how important we are." Everything expands, fuses, aligns. You see palaces stretch wide, grids appear, and baroque dreams go full geometry. By the 1780s, the mood changes again. Columns appear, less gold, more marble. Brandenburg Gate rises, Berlin goes classy. Ah, look at you now. It's the year 1800, and suddenly everything needs columns. Brandenburg Gate rises like a giant marble ego trip. Every architect screams, "We are Rome now." And you, standing there in your muddy shoes, nod politely while choking on construction dust. Museums, theaters, domes, you're surrounded by pure architectural ego. 2 decades later, you blink again. Berlin is now a temple of culture. Columns everywhere, symmetry everywhere, even the pigeons look balanced. You stroll past the new Altes Museum and the Schauspielhaus, thinking, "Ah, yes, finally, art for the people." Except, of course, the people can't afford the tickets. But look closer. 1840 brings something new. Factories, smoke, railways. The future arrives on rails. Factories rise, chimneys roar, and the air turns into soup. You, dear Berliner, cough proudly. It's the scent of progress. The U-Bahn is not here yet, but soon certainly is. Housing blocks sprout up like mushrooms and rent skyrockets before capitalism even learns to spell its own name. Then the 1860s, a new urban plan, the Hobrecht grid, wide boulevards, crowded blocks, organized chaos. You can almost smell the bureaucracy. Behold, you, my friend, now live in the capital of an empire. It's 1880, and Berlin is drunk on ambition. Every corner, another palace, another statue, another guy named Wilhelm. You squint at the new Reichstag, rising from the dust. It's huge, pompous, and covered in eagles, because subtlety is for peasants. You blink, and whoa! Streetlights, trams, electricity. It's 1900, and Berlin finally feels, well, modern. The Reichstag dome gleams, the Berliner Dome looms, and underground workers dig like moles to build the first U-Bahn. You walk proudly down Unter den Linden, pretending not to notice the horse poo. And beneath your feet, the first U-Bahn digs into the earth. 1920, Berlin grows enormous. You're now inside Greater Berlin. The city just ate 59 neighbors. Modernist blocks, Bauhaus ideals, flat roofs, progress with sharp edges. Ah, but the mood changes. It's 1940, and the city has gone completely mad. Grand plans, giant domes, avenues for gods. They call it Germania, a capital for eternity. You watch old neighborhoods vanish under bulldozers, and you think, this feels slightly ominous. Spoiler, it is. Gigantic plans for Germania, colossal avenues, and then war. 1943 to 45, and now it ends. Sirens, fire, rubble. Your empire gone. Bombs fall, streets vanish, and history resets with explosives. You run through smoke, past the shattered Reichstag, the burned Stadtschloss, the broken Brandenburg Gate. Berlin is no longer a city. It's a mountain of bricks and ghosts. Congratulations, you survived. Physically, maybe. 1960, you watch Berlin rebuild twice. In the West, glass, steel, jazz. In the East, socialist classicism, heroic statues, zero humor. They even blow up the old palace. Goodbye, history, hello, emptiness.
Then, 1961, the wall rises. You can't cross. One city becomes two worlds. East builds the TV tower, West builds the Philharmonie. You, stuck in the middle, wonder who's winning. By 1980, both sides glow in opposite colors. You live in two Berlins. To the east, grey blocks, slogans, and the sweet smell of socialism. To the west, color, chaos, and jazz with bad haircuts. In the middle, a wall so ugly it became art. You drink cheap beer and stare at the TV tower, and it stares back like a giant metallic spy. You wake up, boom, the wall's gone. People climb, cry, dance, and steal bricks for souvenirs. East hugs West. West pretends it didn't notice the smell. Berlin reunites, awkward but loud, like two drunk cousins realizing they share a house again. By 1990, you are one city, one chaos, one giant hangover of freedom. It's 1995. Berlin is broke, loud, and full of cranes. Everywhere you look, construction, confusion, and currywurst stands. You trip over history while they rebuild it. Old palaces return, new glass towers rise, and the city hums like a hangover, slowly turning into ambition. The year 2000, you stand on Potsdamer Platz, reborn. Glass towers rise from the former death strip. The Reichstag wears a new glass dome, transparent politics at last. It's 2005. You're broke, but everyone calls it art. Abandoned factories become clubs, graffiti becomes philosophy, and techno becomes religion. Berlin is chaos in perfect rhythm, ugly, loud, and somehow beautiful. The year is 2010. Cranes are gone, startups are here. Cafes, co-working spaces, and techno temples bloom like mushrooms. Berlin now calls itself Europe's creative heart, while rent still costs a kebab and a beer. And now it's 2015. You used to be underground, now you're a lifestyle brand. Hipsters, tourists, and investors take over your streets and your soul. Berlin isn't poor anymore, maybe still sexy, but definitely overcrowded. And by 2020, Berlin's heart is whole again. The Humboldt Forum stands where the palace once stood, part baroque, part modern, part ghost. You look around, ancient stone, socialist concrete, steel and glass, all shaking hands awkwardly. Finally now, 2025, Berlin, forever rebuilding, forever unfinished. A city that burns, rebuilds, and laughs in the ashes. Jawohl.